The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
All right, y'all, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, if you watch the news or were on social media at all yesterday, you probably heard about GameStop stock controversy. That was started with an army of stock traders in a group on Reddit, right? And so our next guest is here to help us understand what the frenzy is all about. Rob Wilson is a financial advisor at an independent financial and investment advisory firm based in Pittsburgh. He's the author of the financial advice book, Secure the Bag, Create the Life You Desire by Managing Your Money Like You Mean It. And he's often on contributor on CNN, CBS, and NBC. Good morning, Rob. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Rickey. So glad to be here.
Man, happy to have you, man. Listen, man, so this GameStop thing, has turned Wall Street upside down. For those who may not know about it like me, break it all down and how it started.
Okay, so, Rickey, this is really something that you might see in an episode of Billions or maybe from the movie The Big Short a couple of years ago. But basically, there's two ways that you can bet on a stock. You can bet on the stock because you like it, which means you buy it because you think you can sell it later at a higher price. But Wall Street, in its infinite wisdom, also created a way for you to bet against a stock if you think the price is going to go down. That's called shorting a stock. But the weird thing about that is if you want to go short a stock, you have to borrow the shares from someone who already owns them. Then you go and sell them immediately because you think that you can buy them back at a lower price at a later date and then give them back to the original investor. Now, you remember what Biggie said in 10 Crack Commandments about having something on consignment, okay? If you ain't got the clientele, say hell no, because they going to want their money, rain, sleet, hell, snow. So eventually, those people, those original investors are going to want those shares back. Now, if they're much lower, you win. But guess what? If that stock price starts going up and you have to rush to go buy those shares back, that's when you can see a short squeeze that makes the stock price explode, and that's what you've been seeing with GameStop over the last week or so.
Well, a lot of this sounds like foreign language to me. So can you explain some of these terms being thrown around, like short sellers, hedge funds, and options trading?
Yeah, sure. So think about it like this. Let's just say your friend got a job overseas and they were going to be gone for a year. They said, hey, you can borrow my car for the year. But you said, hey, this person has a nice car, so let me go sell it. Somebody's going to beat it up for a year. I'll go buy it back before he comes back, and then I'll return it. But if you were wrong about that, Kim Kardashian tweets about it or something, now everybody wants that car. And, oh, by the way, your friend's coming back in 6 months, not a year. Now you have to do everything possible to try to go get that car back. You might have to go get on eBay. You have to pay whatever price you have to pay in the market in order to get that car back. And that is exactly what is going on right now with this GameStop shares. And normally this doesn't happen, but the Reddit traders recognized that there were too many shares held short of GameStop, and they just decided to come together and pile in and sort of stick it to the man who they feel like have exploited them in the market for years and years.
So that's what I actually really want to talk about, because people are pretty upset that Robinhood and several other online brokerage firms restricted trades on GameStop and other highly volatile stocks this week. So can you explain why they blocked people from being able to trade? Because a lot of us use Robinhood now. It's very user friendly, and you can, buy and sell stocks right on your phone.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to explain this is to think about it as if you had a credit card. So some people may have an Amex with no preset limit. But if you start to run that limit up unusually, they will cut it off and they will ask you to pay that balance down a little bit. So because of the price of GameStop was exploding so quickly, the clearing firms who are sort of in the background in Wall Street, when you get on Robinhood and you click a button and buy a stock, it seems like it just happens seamlessly and automatically. There are a lot of things going on in the pipes behind that, and your broker has to have the money to be able to pay for those trades that you're making. So what happened was, Amex, the people who are Amex that are controlling the trade said, listen, this price is going up way too fast. We're not sure that you're going to have the money to cover these trades, so we're going to have to slow this down in order to make sure that nobody gets hurt. Now, I don't agree with the situation. I think it was really a bad thing for investors because it actually did help the big guys and the hedge funds who were trying to get out of their bad investments. But it was a technical reason that they had to stop trading. It wasn't because they necessarily wanted to help the hedge fund guys.
Okay. So Rob, now it's pretty easy these days for people to set up an account. I don't even have money, and I got on Robinhood last year. So when you talk about starting investing in stocks, what's your best advice for people like me that are beginners?
So what I would say is start investing in things that you know. Don't just start, okay, GameStop was in the news and it's in the newspaper, so let me go buy that. I wouldn't do it now. That trade is long in the tooth. You probably missed out. But what I would say is start with things that you know. Go through your bank account. Make note of the top 20 places that you spend money with all the time. Of that, I can guarantee that there will be at least 10 publicly traded companies. Nike, Walmart, Apple, all of these companies that you know and love. Use that as your starting point. Now, just because you know it, that doesn't mean that it's going to be a good investment, but use that as your list to start doing your research and your homework, and then pick the ones that you think have the best chance to succeed in the future and start putting your money to work. What you got to realize is that there's only two things in life that I know for sure. Stocks go up and if they're going to go down. You have to be willing to take on a little bit of risk. But if you do your homework, you invest in what you know, you'll be okay over time.
Man, thank you so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Let everybody know how they can follow you on social media.
Hey, I'm at Rob Wilson TV everywhere on social. Anybody has questions, I'm happy to help.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Help me give it up for financial investment advisor Rob Wilson. Yes.
Rob, what's up?
Thanks, guys.